How have I still not figured this?
Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. This is episode 27 of Cabin Fever. And yeah, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Yesterday we did a half an hour episode and I thought half an hour felt really good. You know, it's not too long. I like watching 22-minute programs on Netflix instead of like a 1 hour one. I could binge 3 of them, right? And if not, I can squeeze in a 20-minute program and I'm looking forward to the next 20-minute program the next day. So we're going to keep it to roughly half an hour. It might be just a tiny touch longer. So on today's show, I'm going to play a video like I did yesterday, right? I decided at the very last minute that I would play Ali's video and then try to mimic it. That all kind of happened naturally. And I think it's quite cool. If someone wants to send in a video, great, send in a video. I'll put it up. Otherwise, if I find something cool on social media, I'll put it up. If I don't find something cool, I just won't put anything up. So Julian Cerna, total legend. Met him in Australia a great many moons ago, maybe like 14 years ago. We were in a competition against each other. Yeah, anyway, long time ago. And Julian's very talented, knows his stuff. He made a video that I liked this morning. Short, sharp, to the point. Taught you how to make something without making it overly kind of, you know, a speech. I don't know how to describe it. So I thought I'd feature his and I'd make a drink with him. I also managed to get into one of Tom Dyer's videos that he did. Now, Tom Dyer years ago made a really cool flare video where he did it to the tune Around the World. And it's like around the world. And he's like flaring everywhere from, you know, New York to Melbourne. It was really cool. So you've seen him traveling around the world. This time what he's done is he's taken inspiration from a Portuguese bartender, I think, flare bartender. And he's gotten a bunch of his friends, like some industry heavyweight legends that I'm massive fans of. Like a massive fan of, like Declan McGurk and JJ Goodman, like people that have influenced me over the years, as well as Tom and a whole bunch of other, and Sylvain Glatzeny made it into it. Sylvain's based in Paris now, but we used to live together in Brisbane for like 6 or 8 months. And when I lived with Sylvain, he was so good at flair, I couldn't help but practice some flair with him. Like, well, not with him. I ended up kind of becoming his agent and trying to get him some well-paid work doing flair stuff. It was awesome fun. Anyway, off that topic, I'm going to play that video at the end because, quite frankly, it's got a wicked track in it, and I'm assuming that I'm going to get shut down for copyright if I play it. So I'll play it for as long as I possibly can without killing the show halfway through the show. I'm going to play it at the end, and I'm going to play the whole video if I can. It's 7 minutes, which means I'm going to move fast, talk fast, taste fast, build drinks fast. Speaking of which, today I wanted to feature another Tizuari. I love Tizuari, right? Tizuari is the shit. This is some, like yesterday I featured hard to get, high altitude, Taiwanese silver needle tea, right? I'm just checking to see if this looks like it's running. High altitude silver needle tea, like that shit's difficult to get if you've got the money to spend on it. This is like £1.50. You can get them anywhere. There's 20 in a pack. It comes with a foil seal, right? And it's green tea with mint. Now, green tea, if you don't already know, it's 80 degrees that you want to kind of warm your water up to. Again, I used a really expensive tea maker yesterday, but I want to point out that, now I can't find it. Usually I have a thermometer in here, which I can't see anywhere. Right, so that was an epic fail. I should have probably got that prepped before I started the show. Right, imagine this is a thermometer. What I usually use, I know it's here somewhere. Damn it. Okay. Now, what I usually use is a thermometer. This is actually a screwdriver, but you can imagine it was a thermometer. If I find the thermometer, I'll bring it up tomorrow and I'll show you that like they do look like this. So, thermometer. You got a little LED screen. It tells you what the temperature is, and you got an on-off button, and like you can change from centigrade to Fahrenheit and stuff. You turn it on. You put it into the glass. You pour hot water in, and then you add cold water. So you boil the water up, pour the water in, add cold water until you get to about 85 or so, and then add your well 80, but I put it to 85 back in the day because I knew it was going to cool down over the course of the 3 minutes. You put your tea bag in, let it sit for a couple of minutes, take the tea bag out. I like to add into this one 1 spoon per cup of set honey. You can use any honey you like, but set honey, I don't feel it's as sweet. Put the honey in, give it a little bit of a stir, and the honey takes the edge off the whiskey. Let's see what I'm making. Right, here's some tea I prepared earlier today. Now, for me, the mint flavor in the green tea and that freshness from the honey goes really well with a Glenfiddich 12-year-old. So this, if you haven't tasted it, it's a really approachable, really easy to drink, refined Speyside single malt. And this, you get like pear and apple notes from it. Like, it's not like malic acidy kind of flavors, but you get that fresh green note from it. So, put one of these, get one of my London Ice Studio ice cubes, stick that in there, right? Easy. 1 part Glenfiddich, as the Celery was yesterday, to 2 parts, well, I might put a dash more, Glenfiddich to 2 parts. There's so much booze up here. I don't have space. To 2 parts of your green tea with mint. Ooh, with some cold ice. Right, I like to give it a little ice spoon stir. How long has it been since the ice spoon came out? God, it must have been like 5 or 6 years. I'd like to get that early video, play it as like a, here's a word from our sponsors, and play monkey shoulder videos of old. With me on them though. How good would that be? Right, so. It's fucking delicious. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is delicious. I love Celery. I could drink this all day. I think on Friday, Fun Day Friday, I might start early on these and finish the show with something real boozy. And then apologize to my wife profusely. So, you know I love you. Right, so today, Mitch's Minute number 27. It doesn't mean he's done 27. It's the 27th day since the government locked down bars. So, Mitch's Minute 27. Let's see what he's got in store for us.
3 biggest lessons. 3 lessons that meant most to me as a bartender. 3 lessons meant mood goes in the fridge was a really big one. That was learning the mood went in the fridge was basically what sent me on the path of cocktails. I thought I was already good and fast and clean, but I didn't. That showed me that I didn't really actually know anything. Being taught that people will, I don't know, having that penny drop moment where you realize that people you yourself will go back to a bar with shitty drinks and great service and a good time, but you'll never go back to a bar with great drinks and shitty service and a bad time. And weighing, using weight as a measurement for recipes not for like drink recipes, but for like anything else. The consistency and precision. It's kind of like understanding that there's different acidity in citrus for the first time.
Right, so that did look like 4 things to me. The acidity thing was, or maybe he's just comparing it to the acidity thing. Speaking of acidity, and I got a comment on here, Braulio as the primary is a great mojito. It is nice, bitter, sweet, and a nice dry finish. I have no idea what that means. But since you mentioned mojitos, I kind of was thinking, right? All the drinks I'll be making on the show use like very fancy ingredients, and like it's not really representative of a quarantine situation where you're kind of locked in the house and you don't have anything. I was suggesting, oh, I see he's commenting on the mojito on the comment of the post. Damn. I really need to like know what I'm writing in the copy. Anyway, moving on from that. Making a mojito. You're looking in the fridge. You got no mint. You got other green stuff. Let's play around with the base mojito recipe and see what happens when we make it with something else that's green. And today's something else that's green is bits of celery. Skanky bits of celery left over in the fridge. You could have used them in a Bloody Mary or a red snapper or something like that, but like, let's try to get some flavor out of these puppies, all right? And we're gonna do it stick style. So, if this fits, actually, will it? This is a good question, Dean. Yes, like a glove. Right, I'm gonna keep this baby for garnish. I'm just gonna tear these ones up. Right. So, drank a lot of mojitos when myself and Electra were in Cuba. We went there for our honeymoon. It was super epic. We basically just stayed in Havana drinking mojitos, and oh, it's not really doing a great job of muddling that up. I'll tell you what I might do. I'm gonna switch my methods. I'm gonna shake the living shit out of it. That's what I'm gonna do. Right. So it's not so much a mojito. Right, I'm gonna even put it in these fibrous bits because now I can strain it out. I'm gonna take a skanky, and when I say skanky, look at that lime. That is a skanky, sorry looking lime if I ever seen a skanky, sorry looking lime. Right, I found this in the back of the fridge. We were otherwise out of limes. I'm actually running out of fresh stuff. Electra's ordered loads of cool stuff, but it's yet to arrive. So, you know, was running out of fresh stuff. So, where do I put this? In there. See, look at that. Look at the non-juiciness of this lime. This is the skankiest lime I have ever used. Oh, I hope this works out all right. Now, more skanky lime here. There's a bit of this one. All right, we've got an undisclosed amount of lime juice. And now for a funkin' sugar syrup. Glob of that. I'm gonna taste this to see how it's going. And then we're gonna put some rum. Right, so Bacardi rum, you got it lying around. I went down to my local store recently. Like when I say local, I mean down the end of the block, because going to the supermarket at the moment is just a nightmare. And they have Bacardi and they had Havana Club 3. So for me, like, those are the base rums I'm going to be using because they represent, especially if I'm trying to represent everyday kitchens, quarantine stuff, because they're basically everywhere. Good distribution. All right. Do you know what I might do? I might go full hog on the celery flavor. And add a tiny bit of celery salt. That's gonna be rock and roll. It's gonna be crazy. My instinct is to add like absinthe and some tiny little, like a little spray of something that would kind of give it a bit more of a floral note or a modifier, but I'm not gonna do that. Just gonna shake the shit out of it. for a second. These back. Right. Straining this out, I'm assuming it's going to suck because there's all sorts of different pieces in it. So I'm going to use my big Coney strainer. And obviously, having not made the drink before, I have no concept of how big it's going to be in the glass. So I'm going to add the soda first, milk and honey style, and then add the ice. Right. Bit of soda. Ooh, I might actually use my matte black kitchen tongs from Wee Chef. I love them. All my stuff is black. All my bikes are black. The car is black. Black's my favorite color. So I will, like, we were looking at getting a trailer for Axel. When I say trailer, I mean like a protected trailer with a cage around it where you cycle and it's bolted to the back of your bike and he sits in a little kind of like, it looks like a dune buggy. The blue one is 800 pounds. The black one is 1,280 pounds. It's 400 pounds more to buy the black one. It's so unfair. Like, we're going to have to save for a bajillion years to be able to save up. He's going to be too big for the buggy by the time we're actually able to afford it. All right, let's see. Oh, that's fresh. A lot of people don't use celery in drinks. I got this from Sergio Lianza. He's the celery guy. But it gives a kind of a fresh, like almost peppery greenness to the flavor of the drink, which is really, really cool. Okay. Baby cage with wheels. It's a baby. It's like a carriage. Like I kind of was thinking it'd be cool to put flexible but steel looking kind of blades coming off the wheels. So he looks like he's in the back of one of those, you know, Trojan-y, what are they called? I don't know what they're called. Chariots. You know, war chariots. That'd be so cool. Give him a little like gladiator style helmet. That'd be really cool. Right. So moving on from this, I'm gonna drink this. This is delicious. Cage. Well, it has a roll cage in it. Just buy the blue one and paint it black. I would buy the blue one and paint it black, but like I don't know if I can paint as well as would need be. It's like the fabric on the shell is blue, so I'd almost need a seamstress, or like I don't know if you can dye that stuff. It's waterproof. I'll show you one. Back in Black, one of the best albums ever. We know it. AC/DC. AC/DC. Right. So let's have a look at what Julian Cerna had for us. Now, Julian's made a like solid video. No wasting time, no messing around. And this time I already know what he's going to do. So I'm going to get myself prepped in the same way he is prepped. He's got a wine glass. He's got some ice. Now, you can't see inside my fridges, but the way I organize my fridges is I have these little trays and they fit perfectly into the, like, you know, it's a home freezer. Sorry, when I say fridge, I mean freezer. And each of these are like already cut. They're delivered by London Ice Studio, and you just tell them what size you want and they cut them up for you. Now, they'd usually be all different sizes. This was going to be my rack ice, but because I'm only shaking with this stuff, and I know how the guys at London Ice Studio make their ice, I don't want to make the boys there cut tiny little cubes of ice. Like they're cutting them from giant Kleinbell size ice cubes, and they're actually hand cutting every single thing, and they measure them themselves. I'll show a video one day because I took loads of video, but look, they're nice clean ice. So that's my shaking ice. But these little guys are great because they fit perfectly in my little ice bowl. Anyway, moving on from that. Throw a couple of pieces. No, wait. I'll wait until he starts. Wait until he starts. Julian, where are you, buddy?
Ciao guys, it's a hot one out there. Today we're going to make an Aperol Spritz, one of my favourite sometime drinks. It's a lot of fun, very easy to drink, very sessionable. You can use some Aperol, some Prosecco, don't break the bank, spend about $25, $30 if you can, and some soda water. So to get things started, everything in the big wine glass, we're going to get this ice in there. So as much as we can fit in there, get it really nice and cold, keep those really sort of strong flavours that we're getting. So Aperol, we're going to free pour this today. Quite a large amount, so let's call that 60 mils. With the Prosecco, about the same. Okay, so it's a really effervescent, tangy sort of like drink and soda water to finish. Okay, I call this like a grown-up Fanta. It's a beautiful spritz. It can be drunk anywhere from Bondi to Italy to sunny Singapore. So guys, enjoy. Finish it off with an orange and salute.
Right? Shit! I love that. He's like, I'm going to teach you how to make a drink today. Put some ice, blah, 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 put a bash that, this boom, bam, boom, bam, bam. Salute, right? That's how, like, if people didn't catch it the first time, they can watch it again. I love that video. I think he's winning the internet today. So, everybody these days are trying to keep themselves busy, trying to do some form of work. So you're seeing a lot of people. Be supportive. If you don't know already, someone puts a video up and they're a friend of yours, even if they're not, you like it, and if you can, share it as well, because what that does is it helps other people to see it, and it certainly helps the people that are putting these videos out there. You know, they're doing it because they want to express themselves, they want to share, and the more likes they get, the more shares they get, the better it's going to be for them. And certainly if Julian's bosses are telling him, like, right, we want to keep you need to keep doing stuff from home, and they're seeing him get hundreds of likes and a few shares, they're going to be more happy with him, right? So, you know, it's like, if you don't have money to tip people, then get out there and help them share their content, help them build what they're working on. So, Julian, if you do manage to see this, good work, buddy. Loved your video. Shared it. I'm pretty sure I shared it. Right, so we already know what this tastes like. It's Aperol Spritz. Fucking delicious. Anyway, Aperol Spritz. Now double fisting. It's a fucking Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Right. Fun Day Friday is going to be so fun this week. It's getting looser as it goes on, I think. Right, so today, I already tasted this before. I can't keep coming out with new stuff I've not tasted before. It's actually quite difficult. And also, I've decided to stop spending money for the sake of spending money. I'm going to like tighten myself back in. I have no idea if I've got work coming in anymore. Everything I was working on more or less being cancelled. So, in the interest of frugality, I'm not going to keep buying new stuff that I haven't tasted. I'm going to go back and retaste some stuff with you guys. And what I'm going to start with today is Bareface. Now, I'm going to turn off all the heating in here. I don't know why the heating was on, but it's just gotten very hot. Bareface. Check this shit out. Like, the scratches on the front, Bareface, triple oak, triple Chenet. I don't know what that means. Hide nothing, fear nothing. Master blender, Maitre Assembler or something. It sounds very French, but it's Canadian, maybe French-Canadian. It says, smooth, rich, and round, with a warm, spicy finish. And then it says the same, I'm guessing it says the same thing in French. It says product of Canada on the top and produit du Canada. Yep, product of Canada in French, I guess. Wild guess, wild guess. A team of seekers, blenders, coopers, and makers working to a single unifying code. This is strong. To openly source the finest Canadian whiskey and finish it in unique hand-selected barrels sourced from around the globe. Hide nothing, fear nothing. And then it does its own... Wait. Oh no. I thought that was going to be in French. They only do English on the back. Our bold triple oak signature release is a single grain whiskey aged 7 years in ex-bourbon barrels on the shores of Georgian Bay, Ontario, then finished in the Okanagan Valley, BC. in tight grain French oak red wine barrels for dried fruit and chestnut notes. And finally, with Hungarian oak to deliver a unique spiced finish. So 3 different oak finishes. That's nice. Well, it starts aged in 1 and 2 oak finishes. Barefaced Spirits, Toronto, Canada. Refund where applicable, blah, blah, blah. I think this might have been all the way from Canada. Have they just... I don't know. Doesn't have a UK little pregnant lady on the back. Wow. So, Bareface. Now, obviously, my favorite brand in the world is Monkey Shoulder. Like, I don't think that's ever going to change. So when you look at Monkey Shoulder, like, you know, it's like Canadian cousin of Monkey Shoulder, right? Barefaced Monkey Shoulder. So I had to know what this was. And like, it's got the indent, this has got the scratches. You know, it's a bit taller. You know, like, it's all right that Monkey Shoulder is a bit shorter. That's cool. But I already love the branding. So before I even tasted it the first time, I was in love with it. Let's have a look. Now, so good. You can really taste the wood in there. I think the Hungarian oak has given it like a black walnutty sort of nuttiness to it. I'm wondering, when it says single grain, I'm wondering, is it rye? It doesn't say rye, but maybe my mind is telling me that I'm tasting a rye-ness without it even being rye, because I hear Canadian. Like, I come from the generation of bartenders that were told the Canadian Club is 100% rye whiskey. In fact, when I did some study and found out that you couldn't say it was a straight rye whiskey, I then started training people that, and I worked for Diageo as a brand ambassador, well, brand trainer. And I once traveled to a hotel chain, and I was teaching the people about whiskey and vodka and gin. I was doing what they called category spirits training. And while I was doing that training, I told the bartenders that, like, Canadian Club is not 100% rye. It's actually like lots of different mash bills brought together. And the beverage director of the hotel lost his mind and was like, no, it's straight rye. And I was like, no, it's not 100% rye. And he was like, it's straight rye. Guys, don't listen to him. And I was like, cool. Look, it's rye, guys. As far as you're concerned, it's rye. You know, Google it. And then moved on. And then he said that when I said that tequila was made from agave, and he corrected me and told me it was cactus, I just told him, you can teach your guys whatever you want. I'm here to teach what I believe is right. And I nearly got fired. He called my boss and my boss's boss and everyone else. And they were like, dude, what did you do? And I was like, my job. I just did my job. I taught people what I thought was right. But it was like 2006, 2007. People didn't have, you know, the information that we have today. It's a shame. Anyway, moving on from that. Where was I? Yeah, the cactus thing was real. Like, there was, I'm not going to name names, but there was a guy that he did a training right before I did a training. And when I did my training, people started kind of challenging me on the cactus thing. And I had a word to him because he knew. He knew that teaching people that tequila was made from cactus was wrong. And I pulled him up on it. And you know what he said to me? He said to me, Dean, you don't get it, mate. When you do trainings, you do a level 1 training, and that's just for the basics. And you teach people the very basics of how, you know, what whiskey is, wood, and this, and you tell them cactus. And then you come back for the level 2 training, and that's when you let them know that it's actually not just cactus, it's agave. And I was like, wow, dude, you know, how times have changed. You know, also, check this out. I got a new button.
Ah! Ooh, yeah! Can do!
These are all separate buttons. This is how what I felt. I didn't say anything, but this is what I felt when someone far more senior than me told me you do a category 1 training, you know, the first training and you give them cactus, and the second training you give them agave. Right, so anyway, moving on from that, this is this, that is that. We've done this one. Now, yesterday, I wanted to show you one of my crazy shakers. I've got so much stuff, but I've kind of put it all in storage, and some of it needs polishing. Some of it, I'm not going to lie, has broken. I'm now realizing how many very rare vintage shakers that I've broken because I put them all above the door. And I'd open the door and pull the curtain back and a shaker would fall. Interesting. This one is not broken. I'm going to show you it. Right. So, this one, not an expensive one, not a rare one by any means, but it's my little penguin, right? So if you have a look from here, this is my penguin shaker. I was thinking this guy would make a great stop motion shaker, right? And like his little head would pop off, and then like this would pop off in the stop motion, and you see the ice go across and go in there, and then like boom, and then like bam, right? Anyway, it was my idea once when I was collecting cocktail shakers and all sorts of vintage memorabilia and ancient books that I was going to open the London Cocktail Museum, right? And it would be like, literally, you walk in and it's just a museum of books, memorabilia from Prohibition running through, and there'd be different bars set up to look like different eras. So there'd be the Prohibition era bar, the pre-Prohibition Golden era bar. There'd be like a punch room in the very back, and it would be this huge big space. And it's just pipe dreams. How much would that cost? And on that note, it's been a lovely afternoon. I hope you got something out of this. And if Tom watches this, Tom, you're a legend. Thanks for featuring me in this. And guys, try to watch this video all the way through for the 7 minutes and see who's in it, right? I'll give you a hint. There's at least Charlotte from the Savoy, Charlotte Copley, Declan McGurk from the Savoy, and JJ Goodman, right? So you have to know those. Also, Sylvan's in it, obviously. But have a look for them, right? Here comes Tom's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until tomorrow, I hope this has been a nice distraction.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school, on the other side of the ocean. Yet, you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you come here saying that you're doing enough, when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. Right here, right now, 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 right here, right now. understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions? There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures here today, because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us. The young people are starting to understand your betrayal. We will not let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. Right here, right now, 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 right here, right now. Understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions? There will not be any solutions or plans presented in line with these figures here today, because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us. The young people are starting to understand your betrayal. We will not let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. Right here, right now, 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 right here, right now.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. And there we go, buddy. What's that on the big screen?